The first thing I did as soon as the plane touched down at the Paris airport was buy a phone and internet SIM card for a month. If I hadn't done that, I might never have reached my new home. The rental car had no built-in navigator, and driving halfway across France without a map would have been an adventure I was definitely not prepared for. Internet Navigator on my phone became my lifeline. Back in Canada, while preparing for the move, I used AI to find out which mobile operators worked in my French town and where their stores were located. In case I couldn't sign a contract right away, I needed to know where to buy a new SIM card for the following month. AI confidently recommended the company Orange. Looking ahead, I can say it was absolutely right. The service worked flawlessly, and I never once regretted the choice. But here's what's important. Buying the SIM card is only half the job. You must activate it right there at the kiosk and check whether mobile and internet service actually work. In my case, the internet didn't work at first, and the seller spent almost 30 minutes fiddling with my phone, manually entering the settings. I can only imagine what would have happened if I had walked away immediately. I would have been left without service in a foreign country, without navigation, without guidance, without even the ability to make a call. And there was one more thing I didn't know at the time. Not every SIM card is compatible with every phone model. Compatibility can be tricky. I was lucky. My phone worked. But if it hadn't, the story could have started much more dramatically.
Time passed. The month was coming to an end, and the bank account still hadn't been opened. I understood that without an account, I wouldn't be able to sign a long-term contract with any mobile operator, and living without internet and a phone was impossible. 3 days before my SIM card expired, I went to a mobile store in the nearest town. A young, tall, handsome employee told me about the available contract plans for my information, and after understanding my situation, he suggested I simply buy a new prepaid SIM card. But a new SIM card meant a new phone number. I could already imagine myself calling every office to update my number. My head started spinning, but I had no choice. I took out my passport, and the young employee slowly filled out the paperwork. Then he handed me the SIM card, and by his expression, made it clear that I could leave the store. But I remembered the trouble I had activating my card at the airport, so I firmly asked him to check whether everything worked. And then it turned out that neither the phone service nor the internet worked. The SIM card was dead. The employee mumbled something unintelligible, refunded my money, took the card back, and disappeared. My head spun even more. What was I supposed to do? I couldn't survive without internet and a phone. Pulling myself together, I started searching online for another store. Fortunately, there was another office in a big city, about 30 minutes away by car. Soon, I was already explaining to a cheerful Frenchwoman what had happened to me. She laughed loudly, as if I were telling her a very funny joke. I felt completely discouraged. But then, after enjoying the story, Madame unexpectedly solved my problem with surprising ease. She suggested that I not buy a new SIM card at all, but simply extend the old one, keeping my phone number.
I couldn't believe my ears, but the memory of the non-working new SIM card was still haunting me. Holding my breath, I watched her thin fingers quickly insert my SIM into my phone. Then she typed something on the computer, turned my phone around, and it rang. I checked the internet. It worked. Madame told me about different types of contracts, and they turned out to be even more interesting and cheaper for me. I learned some new lessons. Never rely on just one opinion. Take the time to speak with other specialists in other offices. In a new country, mobile service is not a convenience. It's a lifeline. Find out everything in advance and check the connection on the spot while there is someone nearby who can help. Let this be your first small but very important practical discovery in France. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe and like. See you in the next episode.